Imagine a world where the loudest voices in the room, the ones who have dictated the narrative for decades, suddenly find themselves gasping for air in a vacuum of their own making. Picture the iconic round table of The View, not as a throne of cultural influence, but as a sinking ship in a storm of golden subpoenas. For 25 years, they were the mean girls of daytime TV, untouchable and unafraid. But today, the studio lights are flickering, the bank accounts are draining into the negatives, and the woman holding the pen that will sign their eviction notice is the very one they dismissed as a glamorous puppet. Karoline Leavitt hasn't just filed a lawsuit, she has dropped a nuclear bomb on the legacy of ABC, and the fallout is $800 million deep. This isn't just about money anymore, this is about the day the cackling stopped and the truth started to cost more than they could ever afford to pay. The story begins in the cold, clinical glow of a high-rise office in New York City. The air is thick with the smell of expensive coffee and the palpable scent of panic. Joy Behar is pacing, her heels clicking like a countdown clock against the marble floor. Whoopi Goldberg sits at the head of a mahogany conference table, her face a mask of disbelief as she stares at a thick blue folder. On the front, in bold, in compromising letters, it reads, Leavitt vs. ABC and The View, defamation, character assassination, and systematic smear campaign. The number staring back at them, $800 million, is enough to buy a small country, or in this case, to bury a television empire. The mood is a far cry from the smug smiles they wore on air just weeks ago when they joked that Karoline was only in the White House because she was a 10. Now, that joke is the most expensive sentence ever uttered in the history of broadcasting. Behind the scenes, the collapse is visceral. The glitter is literally falling off the walls. Staffers who once felt like they were part of an elite club are now seen crying in the break room, clutching their resumes as if they were life jackets. The lavish catering has been replaced by vending machine snacks, the private drivers have been cut, even the lighting technicians are being told to use fewer bulbs to save on the electric bill. But the true emotional weight isn't in the lost perks, it's in the silence. The show that thrived on noise is now haunted by the quiet realization that they crossed a line they can't uncross. They underestimated a 27-year-old woman who didn't just have a pretty face, but a mind like a steel trap and a legal team that treated evidence like a holy scripture. Karoline wasn't just a guest they could talk over, she was a storm they couldn't weather. The heart of the drama shifts to Karoline herself. While the studio is in chaos, she is the picture of courtroom calm. We see her sitting in a quiet church pew, the morning light hitting her face, reflecting on the journey. She remembers the nights of being mocked on national television, the memes, and the insults directed at her intelligence and her character. She remembers the woke lectures from women who claimed to champion female empowerment while simultaneously trying to tear down a young woman's career. The struggle wasn't just legal, it was deeply personal. It was about every person who has ever been bullied by a larger institution and told to shut up and take it. Karoline decided she wouldn't just take it, she would invoice them for it. Her resolution wasn't born out of hatred, but out of a fierce, protective love for the truth and the dignity of the office she serves. As the lawsuit moves forward, The View begins to fracture from within. Long-standing friendships dissolve into finger-pointing. You said too much, one host whispers. You didn't. Stop me, another retorts. The advertisers, the lifeblood of the show, are fleeing like rats from a burning building. Makeup brands and yoga mat companies don't want their logos next to a defamation claim that could bankrupt a network. The show's ratings, once a source of pride, are now a grim reminder of a disappearing audience. People aren't tuning in to hear the truth anymore, they are tuning in to watch the funeral of a titan. It is a slow-motion implosion that serves as a chilling warning. In the digital age, your words are your currency, and if you spend them on lies, you will eventually find yourself morally and financially bankrupt. In the final act, we witness the symbolic, last broadcast. The studio is half dark. The audience is sparse, their applause sounding hollow and thin. The hosts try to maintain their bravado, but their voices tremble. Across the street, Karoline Leavitt walks out of the courthouse, surrounded by a sea of supporters. She doesn't gloat. She doesn't scream. She simply holds up a folder, the evidence of a victory that transcends the $800 million. This was the moment the mean girl era ended. The lesson is powerful and resonates in the soul of every viewer. Power isn't about who can shout the loudest or who has the biggest platform. True power belongs to those who stand on the bedrock of integrity, who refuse to be intimidated by the status quo, and who know that a quiet, well-documented truth is more devastating than 1,000 loud lies. As the screen fades to black, the message is clear and inspiring. We live in a time where the giants can fall, and the Davids can win, provided they have the courage to pick up the stone. Karoline Leavitt proved that you don't have to sacrifice your grace to fight a war, you just have to be right. This story isn't just a news headline, it's a blueprint for a new generation of leaders who will no longer be silenced by the elite. It's a reminder that justice might take time, and it might cost millions, but in the end, the truth is the only thing that remains standing when the lights go out. If you found this story powerful and believe in the pursuit of truth, make sure to like this video. Do you think Karoline Leavitt was right to hold them accountable? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. Would you like me to create a set of high-performing keywords and a description for your YouTube upload to help with the algorithm?